Great. So let's have a quick introduction first, and then we go through the contents and the topics what we have, and let's understand what are your inputs or what are your thought process about the software testing. And then I can start explaining about what is the software testing, how it is related to the day-to-day life, and what exactly the software testing. So that way, like all of you will be comfortable. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sachin and I carry more than 13 years of experience in software testing. Currently, I'm working as a test manager with a banking company here in Salt Lake City. And I'll be trainer for your QA classes, and you can get in touch with me anytime for any queries related to the software testing with this mail ID. I'll just take a simple example about the Amazon. Okay, everybody, all of us uses Amazon to buy a product. Now take an example. You wanted to buy a certain product. You wanted to buy a certain product from the books category. So what we do is we go to the Amazon, we click on the books, and take an example. I just wanted to find out some kids books are available here or not. So what I do is I just type in and I search. So what is my expectations from this Amazon website? What is my expectations from this Amazon book site or this Amazon application when I'm typing books categories in the search box? So what it's supposed
Yeah,
to.
you want kids' books. You want kids' books.
Yeah. So my expectations is basically I should see a page which will guide me what are the books are available for the kids category, right? So this is what the testing what we do. If it is showing when I'm typing kids and if it is showing the appliances part means it is not working. So this is what we do in software testing. So software testing is basically testing of an application for the correctness, completeness, quality, and the security of the software. That is basically the best definition for software testing. So when I say correctness, correctness is basically when you're typing something here and it's showing the correct thing, that is basically the correctness. The complete means like when I'm trying to get the product or the case related to the appliances, the images, the options, what I see should be complete. It should not be half broken, or the image should not be like not the clean or not loaded completely. That is basically the complete. Secured, when you're trying to purchase any item from the Amazon where you're inputting your banking details, that should be secured. Unauthorized persons or the third party person should not be allowed to use your credentials and buy the things. It should who be using those credit card details, and it should be secured. And when it comes to the quality, quality means it shows you the kids page. It does not show you the appliance page when you are looking for some information. That is basically a software testing. And day-to-day life, we do we generally perform the testing. Take an example. You get the car, you go to the garage, put the key and start the car. So what you're doing when you're putting the key and starting the car, you're testing the car is getting started or not. When you're trying to move the wiper button, what you're trying to do is basically the wiper works or not. The same case with the headlights, right? So these are all testings we do on the regular basis. So do you think like, and this is what we do, we'll be having certain defined steps which we write in a plain Excel spreadsheet, and then we perform the same steps. Now take an example. The steps what you have to test a particular things is return something like go to the Amazon, click on the books category, click on the search items, and then go to the particular categories and sort the books based on the price or based on the reviews or based on the comments. So the step says like, okay, go to the particular section, then go here and sort by features. Either you wanted to sort by low to high, high to low, customer review, most reviews. So these will be, all things will be documented. You just have to follow. That is basically a software testing. And as Ritu said, right, it's an end user experience. So testing is basically the end user. And software tester is a gatekeeper for a quality of the product. If you are saying the product or the applications which has been developed is not properly working and say like no to release to the end user customer, the product will not be released. So we have a very critical and important position as a software testing in a company where all the releases of the product to the market or to the end users based on our test, based on our results, and based on our green signal. If we say the product goes and released to the market, then it goes. If you say no, then it won't. Of course, like there will be certain conditions of you're saying why you don't want to release this product. So that's all about the software testing. So do you think like it's difficult to perform the software testing?
So don't you need to understand the software to do software testing? That's what my biggest worry is.
Okay, so let's go it this way. You buy a um okay, I'll not go with a car because everybody knows how to drive a car. You get a cell phone, a new cell phone. Okay, you're not known about like how it works. So what we do? You don't know how to navigate
Read the
the different
manual.
apps. Yeah, so you got the point. So the manual or the user guide which comes with that phone is base document for you to use this product, correct?
Right.
Same way, the company will have a functional requirement documents. Mhm. The functional requirement documents which will be given by the customer. And based on that, this application or the products will be developed. And you have to understand the application or the product based on the documents. And that documents is so expressive. It's in detail like what it is going to be. They will mention that particular website the way we are seeing here, right? All the departments will be clubbed under, all the categories will be clubbed under all departments. They will mention. They will also mention when you go to the books category or automotive what it should be doing and what is this particular product about us. So all these things will be very clearly documented in the functional requirement specification.
Yeah.
They will be also adding the information like when you click on this, what will happen. Now take an example of a Google. Everybody has a Google account. So what we do is we don't know like how to use it, but we go to sign in tab, we add our username, we add your password, we add your phone numbers, and then we start using the Google. So all these things like how to use will be written or how it has to be developed will be written in the functional requirement document. That is the base document to understand the products and the project. Is that answer your question, Ritu?
Yeah, sort of.
So the requirement specification will be given by the customer that, okay, so requirement is basically the wish list of a product, a wish list of a customer. So that particular customer comes to the company and say like, hey, I wanted to develop a mobile apps. I already have a web access or the internet banking. We're just considering a banking example. I already have the banking website, but now I wanted to develop an app so that my user can use the app anytime over the smartphone. So he comes with the queries and he gives all the designs. He gives all the features, how the app should behave. It should be exactly the replica of the internet banking or the internet or the web versions what they have. So they give all the requirements. They give like the user should be able to identify or usual should be able to log in with their login credentials. They should be able to do the transaction. All these things will be mentioned in the requirements documents. So requirements documents will help everybody to understand what is this product, how it is going to behave, how it is going to develop. Everything will be very clear. That is how the development team will also understand what they have to do. Then they have the design in place, they have the code in place. Testing team understand like what they have to do. They understand the product and start the steps, start the test cases. Test cases is basically the steps which we'll be seeing when we go through the classes. So those are basically the important documents for us to understand what is this product and what is this product is for and how it is going to behave. Okay? Any queries? So software testing is a planned process to identify the correctness, completeness, security, and the quality of a software. Testing is generally done to demonstrate that the software is doing what it is supposed to do, what it is not supposed to do. That is basically a software testing process. So you actually go and test to verify or to validate that the product or the software which has been developed is correct, complete, and secured. It's secured means like unauthorized users or the hackers is not supposed to use your login credentials to log into applications or to log into the software. Is that your application is secured? So we do all sort of secure checks so that unauthorized users should not be able to access your account or your banking details or credit card details. So we make sure the application is secured from unauthorized users. The quality, the quality is mainly focused on the software, what it is supposed to do, what it is not supposed to do. That is basically the quality of the software. And that is all the software testing is. Prior to 2000 or earlier, the company never had a separate software testing team. The developer who is developing the product or who is writing the code is to test the products. And what happened? The company has to face a lot of problems because when it reaches to the end user customer, it is not working or they face a lot of issues or it gets crashed because they did not have the separate testing team to test the product. And because of that, the company has to loses a lot of businesses. Now take an example. If you don't have a dedicated testing team and you release a product, say an example, the air traffic controller on the airport, the ATC, they use software to identify which runway is clear, which flight will be landing, which flight will be takeoff, right? They use a software. Just imagine what if that particular software is not tested properly? What is going to happen? They use a software to know like which runway is clear, right? So just imagine if that particular software is not tested properly, what is going to happen,
Disaster.
right? So that's why like prior to 2000, the company has faces a lot of problems. They lost the businesses. One of the loan company, they have given a loan to the students and the software made a mistake in calculating the interest rate, and because of that the company has to face millions of losses. They have to face a millions. They have lost many millions because the interest there is an issue or there is a defect or there is a problem in calculating the interest. So that's why the company said like, okay, I don't want to lose a business and want to have a separate testing team in place. That is why the testing plays an important role in IT industries. That's why they call as a quality gatekeeper, the quality gatekeeper for releasing the product. Okay, so that's just a quick background about the software testing and how this company started investing more on the software testing. So today what we are going to do is we are just trying to understand the software testing so that everybody gets comfortable, and then we quickly go towards the course contents and how the structures of these courses will be. Let's see what is the quality assurance process. See, quality assurance is basically a planned and a systematic way to evaluate the process used to produce a good quality product. The goal of a QA is to provide assurance that the product is meeting, the customer quality expectations. So quality assurance is basically a process which we use to verify the procedures, the standards, the guidelines, what are being used by the company to develop the product is correct and properly implemented. That is basically your quality assurance process, and you do not perform any software testing here. You just understand the process is correct and properly implemented or not. Now take a simple example about the quality assurance. This is not a software testing, it's just to understand like all the processes in place and all. So one of the quality assurance guy goes to a car manufacturer company or goes to the car manufacturer engineer and asks like, hey, do you have the wiper in place? He said yes. Do you have the steering in place? He said yes. Do you have the seats in place? Do you have the tail lamps? Do you have a button to open the back seat? Do you have a open to bonnet open a you have a button to open a bonnet? So what he's trying to understand, like, did the engineer follow all the process what we are having? He don't go physically and check. He's just going and talking to him and asking all the things are in place or not. If he says like, okay, these things are in place, he just asks, do you know like where the button for the particular using the wiper? He just mentioned it is next to the steering. That's all. But in software testing, what you do is you actually go to the car, you go to the button and move the button and see the wiper is working or not. You open the car, sit in the car and see the seats is available. You just check the steering, you click the button or you remove the knob and see the headlights is working or not. So that is basically your software testing. And when you're checking with the engineers, that is basically your quality assurance process. So do you understand the difference between the software testing and quality assurance? Is that clear?
Yes.
Any queries on that? Any queries on the difference? See, there are two different processes. One, you're going and actually checking it is working fine or not. One is a process you're just verifying that in place or not. That is the difference between the software testing and quality assurance. So for each and every product, when it is been developed, either it's a software or an application, they follow certain procedures. They follow certain standards. So we are just verifying those standards in place or not as per the company guidelines or not. I give a simple example. So when we cook at home, any curry or anything, what we do, we get a bowl, we put over the gas, we start it, we add all the ingredients, we all add all the spices and let it get cooked, right? So there is a process, there is a procedures which you follow to prepare a dish at home. If you don't follow the particular process, the end product will not be of what you are expected, right? So the one way of testing that particular dish is by having it. That is basically your software testing. And when it comes to quality assurance, you just go and ask like, have you added this? Do you have these spices in that particular dish? Do you have the vegetable in that particular dish? That is basically your quality assurance process. Is it clear the difference between the software testing and quality assurance? Mita,
Yes.
Path, K, is it clear? Great. So this is how the two different things in software testing industries. And in IT or in the software testing, we focused more on software testing process. Quality assurance plays a limited role. Sorry. It plays a huge role when it goes to the manufacturing companies where they go through the audits, where they go through the standards, where they go through the Six Sigma process and all. That's a bit different. But here its windows is very limited. All right, so many of the candidates have is testing is a software testing is a technical role. When it comes to manual testing, it's not. When it comes to manual testings, you don't require any technical skill sets. What you require is how to use the software, how to use the product. I'm sorry, you don't require any technical skill sets. What you need, how to use a computer, and are you aware like how the Microsoft Word or Excel works? So now I'll just take a simple example. So one of the instance or one of the test cases or one of the steps says that you have to search for a BlackBerry phone on the Amazon. Okay, that's basically the requirement from the company or the customer that the product or the BlackBerry phone should be available in the website. So what we do? Any inputs what you're going to do?
Type in BlackBerry in the search.
Yeah, but where?
In the search bar at the top where your cursor is.
Yeah, I understand that, but you can't directly go to the search, right? So what I say here is, so when this kind of instance is there that you have to search for a BlackBerry phone in the application, so what we have to do is we have to go open the browser, type in Amazon, hit enter, the Amazon page should open. You should be able to see all the departments, all the categories here. Then you should be having a search field to type in BlackBerry and hit enter. And it should show all the all the BlackBerry phones available for the users to purchase. So is that difficult? You already have the steps in place. You just have to follow and validate that particular BlackBerry phone exists or not. This is what the software testing is. Is that difficult? Do you think like you require any technical skill set to do this? No, right?
No.
No.
So all these steps, all these steps are present in document, and that documents we prepared based on the functional requirement document from the customer, and that document is called as a test cases. And you are, yes, Mita, that's correct. And you are going to write those test cases, and we will be knowing. So that plays an important role in the software industries or in this software testing. That is basically your test case. So do you think like you required any technical skill set to test the BlackBerry product is available on the Amazon or not? No, right? So when it comes to manual testing, you don't require any technical skill sets. So the technical skill sets you require when it comes to the automation testing or the database testing or when you are testing the mobile apps or when you're performing the mobile testings, or when you're performing the performance testing or the security testing. So there you require a technical skill sets. When it comes to the security testing, we should be very good with the network skill sets. We should be very good with the technical architecture of your system, how it works, how the network works, how the internet works, how your system works. So there you require the technical skill sets. For to become a manual tester, you don't require any technical. Great. So that's all what I have from the today's class, and we'll be catching up on Wednesday same time to understand the more concept, to understand more terminology about the software testing, which is basically your introduction to software testing. And thank you so much for joining this today's sessions. Have a good night. Bye bye. Thank you so much.